Hey friends, today's topic is you're knowing your motivators and how to tap into them so that you can have the most success. Motivation is necessary to achieve any goal, but it's only a small part. Discipline, habits, and standards are also very important. It's motivation that gets us going, gets us taking those first steps towards our goals. By tapping into what motivates you and using that to your advantage, it takes some of the pressure off of self discipline. Understanding yourself and becoming aware of what motivates you is super helpful so that you can tap into that and use it to your advantage, making life a little easier and your goal a little simpler to achieve. Understand what motivates you personally is powerful. Ultimately, your actions are linked to your beliefs. Don't miss that. Your actions are linked to what you believe about you and what you are worthy of. So let's touch on the three types of motivators today. Motivation number one, incentives. You're motivated to do something by a desire to receive an incentive or reward. So with incentive-based motivation, you reward yourself for reaching certain milestones. For example, you set a goal to get at least 10,000 steps in every day for 14 days, and you set your reward to get a pedicure on the 15th day. While your goal is the steps, your incentive is the reward, the pedicure. So if you find it very motivating to set a goal and then give yourself a reward when you reach it, then a great source for you may be incentive motivation. Now, how can you tap into incentive motivation? Well, first off, the incentive needs to be something that you desire, obviously. The bigger the desire for the reward, the more likely you are to stick with it. So, a good idea is to have smaller rewards for the easier goals and bigger, more valuable to you rewards for the goals that are going to take you longer to reach or that you may require more motivation and effort. So the incentive needs to be something that you're not going to just give yourself anyways, whether you reach your goal or not. You must be honest and set goals and incentives that are important to you and resonate with you personally. So, what works well for incentive motivated people? Making a plan that includes all the goals, big and small, that you want to achieve, and then deciding when the specific date you want to reach each one of those goals, and then marking beside each one of those what reward you will give yourself when you reach it. That's incentive motivation. Another form of motivation is achievement based motivation. Think gold stars and check marks. If you're the kind of person like me and you get a strange amount of satisfaction from giving yourself a check mark every time you accomplish something in your day, then you are motivated by achievement. One definition for achievement motivation is the need for excellence and significant accomplishment, despite what rewards may be offered after the achievement has been met. So you don't really care that much about external rewards. You want that feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment, knowing that you strived and did your best for excellence. And like I said, the coveted check mark or gold star that feels so good. For example, you have your list of top 3 things you want to accomplish each day, and you absolutely love being able to check off each one as it gets done. Well, if this is the case, you probably are achievement motivated. So, how can you tap into achievement motivation if this is the type of person you are? Well, a great idea is each night before you go to bed, write a list of your top 3 things that you want to accomplish the next day. Now, make sure your list of top 3 things are realistic and actually doable in the amount of time that you've allotted. For example, your top 3 may be get your workout in, prep your food for the weekend, and read at least 10 pages of a self development book. Those are all doable within most people's days, even with work and all the other things that us ladies do in a day. And then as you accomplish each one, give yourself a big check mark, and color coded is even better. So, most importantly, after you accomplish that item on your list, stop and revel in that for a few minutes. Think about how good it feels. Think about the importance of completing that task and celebrate. Often, with us achievement oriented people, we can tend to have our list, accomplish it, check, and then race on to the next thing. And that becomes a cycle of never being happy with what you're doing. And we can slip into that gap versus living in the gain. It's important to remember to celebrate when you make a goal, achieve it, and check it off. Celebrating is going to give you that extra shot of dopamine that's going to solidify that accomplishment even more within you. So we have incentive motivation, accomplishment motivation, and then finally, number 3 is fear. It seems a bit odd that a negative emotion like fear can be a motivator, but it really can be. Fear-based motivation can be a powerful way to incentivize focus. Fear of not reaching your goals or being reprimanded for not finishing tasks can actually help some people stay motivated and stay focused. Now, a very common example of this is someone that's obese. They've talked for years about wanting to lose weight and that they should do something about it, but they just never seem to be able to. And then all of a sudden, they get high blood pressure or heart troubles, or their doctor tells them if they don't get this under control, they're going to be diabetic. Then all of a sudden, after many years of talking about it, wishing for it, well, they finally start to get healthy and suddenly are able to lose the weight that they desired to because they are afraid. Fear is a powerful motivator because it makes us uncomfortable and we want to move away from that discomfort. One of my biggest motivators when I realized that I finally needed to get healthy was actually fear. The fear of staying the same or getting worse terrified me. I knew I did not want that. So it motivated me to actually take the action to reach the goals that I needed to. And that was over 15 years ago. So how can you tap into fear motivation if this is the type of person that you are? You can make a list of your biggest fears and then beside each item, write one action you can do on a regular basis to be sure that fear does not come true. For example, being fearful that as you are older, you won't be able to jump up off the floor to run and play with your grandkids or your nephews and nieces or your dogs. Then beside it, write one action you can do. For example, do our program workouts regularly. On the days that you're tempted not to do them, remind yourself your reason for doing it, that you are doing all that you can do so that fear won't come true. So fear actually can be a good motivator, but of course we don't want that to get out of control or spiral. Fear is a negative emotion, and if we go too far with it, it can actually paralyze you. So be sure to use it to your advantage, not to your disadvantage. And if you are the type of person that's motivated by fear, use it to your advantage. So we've got incentive motivation, achievement motivation, and fear motivation. All of these 3 are woven into our program. And maybe you realize that now that we're talking about it. What motivates us will actually change through the different stages of our lives. I want to finish with this Thomas Edison quote. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. And that's why knowing what motivates you and how to tap into that is important. It helps you get started and also helps keep you going. I hope you found this helpful today and that you will recognize what is your top motivator and apply that or apply all 3 so that you are reaching the goals that you desire and designing the life that you love. I would love to hear from you. Which one is your top motivator? Let me know. And ladies, it's time to go design a life you love.